Hello movement athletes, I'm Jesse, and today we'll be talking about our movement athlete pull-up fundamental. By the end of this video, you'll see 10 of our progressions for the pull-ups. We'll talk about techniques, cues, range of motion, and how to progress from the low bar pull-up all the way to the free hang standard pull-up. In our video today, we will be alternating between chin-ups and pull-ups. So chin-ups meaning the supinated grip, pull-ups meaning the pronated grip. We'll be using them interchangeably because we wanted to abridge the video today and just show you 10 of the progressions so they can be used interchangeably. Our app features the full set of micro progressions if you want to learn what all of them are. So here we go. We're going to get into the 10 of our progressions for the pull-up. Our starting point for the pull-ups will be what's called the low bar pulls. So our feet will be on the floor, hands will be on the bar, and we'll be facing towards the ceiling. The higher that the bar is, the easier this will be, and the lower, this will be more like a body row, and it'll be a little bit more difficult. So you'll find the right level for you. And to do this, place the arms at slightly wider than shoulder width in front of you. Body is rigid. The first movement is a scapular pull. You'll pull your chest towards the bar and end up in a tight arch position, and then reverse all the way back to the straight arm position. The second progression will be the jumping chin-up or the jumping pull-up. And you've got to have the level of the floor in a good spot in relation to the bar to make sure that you can jump fully and reach the top of the pull-up. You'll be using your legs more or less to ensure that you can get to the full range of motion here. The third progression is the leg-assisted chin-up or pull-up hold at the top. Now we'll be using a band to do this to make it easier. So you'll loop the band onto the bar, you'll step in with one foot, you execute a very simple pull-up because you're assisted from the band, and you're holding the top portion 10 to 15 seconds depending on your ability, and maintaining a rigid body, squeezing the scapula together, and statically holding this shape. So in our app, I mentioned that we go over skill, muscle, endurance, and strength work. Now when we do this, we do have a section of addressing what's called a scapular pull-up, which is really one of the first movements you have to do before bending your arms. You've got to hang and squeeze your scapula down and together before using your arms to do the pull-up. This will engage your lats and muscles of the back to help aid in the pulling motion. So we don't have that here in our progressions. That's something that would be addressed in our app for cueing to aid in pull-up itself. But as you go into these assisted pull-ups and hangs, it is something to focus on, squeezing the scapula down and together before initiating the pull-up. The fourth progression is the chin over the bar hold unassisted. So you'll be using a box or an elevated surface to jump to the top of the pull-up, which is the bent arm position, and you'll be holding that top for 10 to 15 seconds, and then you can relax, come off the bar, jump back up to the top for your next rep, and hold this position statically. Our fifth progression is the leg-assisted chin-up or pull-up, and we'll be using an elevated surface here. So to perform this one, we'll be starting in a straight arm hang position with our legs bent, feet are rested on top of the surface, and you'll be simultaneously straightening your legs out and pulling with your arms to get the pull-up range of motion in and reversing the action back down again. You'll be using your legs as little as possible to ensure that your arms and back are working in this. Now when doing pull-ups versus chin-ups, you'll tend to be a little bit wider in your pronated pull-up position versus the supinated chin-up grip position. The sixth progression are the assisted negative chin-ups or pull-ups. And in this one, we'll be using a band as well. So loop the band on top of the bar, place one foot in, execute your pull-up, which should be very easy. And the focus is the negative, meaning the eccentric downward portion, going as slowly as possible. See if you can do this for a duration of 10 to 15 seconds, slowly lowering to the bottom of the hang position. And then you can repeat by pulling back up again at a normal or even a little bit of a quicker tempo. But the focus is the downward, slow negative. The seventh progression would be the negative pull-ups or chin-ups unassisted. So for this one, you can jump to the top of the bar just like we did with previous progressions. And now with your full body weight, you are slowly lowering down without any kind of aid and lowering to the straight arm hang position in both the chin-up and the pull-up positions. For the eighth progression, the bent arm hold, execute half of a pull-up and then hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds before returning back down again. And you can keep repeating this action, and the emphasis is holding the midway point of the pull-up because you want to show strength and stability at really every stage of the pull-up, but here we're targeting the middle portion of it. The ninth progression is the full body chin up from hang. So get onto the bar with a chin up supinated grip position. Start from straight body and execute the full chin up in a slightly hollow shape, full range of motion, trying to get the chest to the bar, and then returning back to the straight arm hang position. And the last progression is the free hanging standard pull-up. So we're in the pronated grip, slightly wider than shoulder width, no extra help, no bands, no boxes, full body weight, and engaging the shoulders and pulling up to the clavicles to the bar, slowly returning back down to the straight arm hang, and repeat for as many reps as prescribed. Thanks for watching our pull-up progression video where we showed you 10 of our progressions, and we interchangeably use pull-ups and chin-up, where the full app actually has all of the micro progressions and how we can get some cueing and some endurance work and some smaller progressions in between what we showed you here. But these are 10 of our progressions to show you the overview of how we can go from the low bar hang to the full pull-up towards the end. And we have other videos that describe and explain what the perfect pull-up is. If you want to know how to improve your technique, we go over more specifically and get into the weeds about how you should hang, what the range of motion is, all of those small details. We also have a video on big pull-up mistakes that people make and how to fix them. So check those out. Comment below on what you found useful here, or if you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Please engage with us. Thanks for checking out our pull-up video, and many more to come in the future. One thing that we've realized from training thousands of calisthenics athletes is that if your training is not personalized, it can hinder your progress, leave you injured, stuck, or plateaued. With the movement athlete, instead of having beginner, intermediate, and advanced exercises, we have exercises that'll be tailored specifically to you. It's also important to be well-rounded with your training. For example, some people have really strong legs, they might have weaker arm pulling muscles, or are lacking the shoulder mobility for handstands. You are a unique individual, and your levels of strength, mobility, and flexibility are different from everyone else's, and your training should reflect that. If you want to build skills, get stronger, and do it in a holistic way that will keep you healthy for years and help reduce injury, you've got to personalize your training. But the reality with personal training is that it can be pretty pricey, and it's often not available for what you want. And that's why we created the Movement Athlete Assessment.